is our activity that we'll be working with. So activity 1, we're going to be matching descriptions with a verbal rate, as well as matching our verbal rate with our numerical rate, and then we're going to give a reasonable numerical rate. So it's kind of an educated guess for each scenario. Okay, so the scenarios we have, we'll do a couple of them together, and then you'll go through and finish out the rest. The scenarios we have, your running rate in a 100-meter dash, the fertilization rate for an apple orchard, the average pay rate for a professional athlete, and the average rainfall rate in a rainforest. So those are our descriptions. We have verbal rates and then our numerical rates. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and kind of look at the information that we have. So here we have our running rate. So we're working with meters. So when we look at our verbal rate, we want to find one that's dealing with meters. And then if we have more than one, we'll kind of discuss out from there. So the first one is dollars per year for verbal rate, inches per year. Here's our meters per second. And our pounds per acre. So our meters per second would be, let's go ahead and just label these A, B, C, and D. So we're going to say that it's C. If you would rather draw a line, that's okay too, depending on what you prefer. And then we're going to go ahead and also match that with our numerical rate. So if it's meters per second, the word per also means a division bar or a slash mark. So now when we look at our numerical rates, well, we have inches per year, pounds per acre, dollars per year, or meters per second. So here's our meters per and our second. So this one matches there. Okay, so now we're going to give a reasonable rate. So think of when you are running. A meter is kind of like a yard, which is about 3 feet. It's a little shorter than a yard. So if we were to go through and actually do run a meter in 1 second, about how far do you think you could get? Maybe 2 or 3 meters, depending. So let's maybe put down 2 meters per second. Somebody else might be faster. They might put 3 or 4 meters per second. Okay, but you're thinking in 1 second, how many meters could I go? And remember, a meter is kind of like a yardstick. Okay, so here we're just going through and kind of looking at the different ways that rates could be set up. So let's look at another one. We'll go ahead and do the second one down. So we have the fertilization rate for an apple orchard. So we're dealing with apples, and we're thinking of an orchard. So how fast something's fertilized, well, we have dollars per year, inches per year, or pounds per acre. So I'm thinking in an apple orchard, you tend to grow things in acres on a farm. So I'm going to say that our answer for this one would be D. Okay, so the 2 units we have are pounds and acres. So now we're going to look at our third column and find the rate for pounds per acre. And that would be this one right here, pounds per acre. Okay, so this one, totally taking a random guess because I really have no idea. This might be something that I should maybe research online, but we'll go ahead and just put a number in there just to verify and understand that we're picking a numerical rate. So pounds per acre, we'll say maybe pounds of apples per acre, maybe, I don't know, 1,000. I really don't know. That would be something that we would want to go through and actually research and see. Maybe that number is way too small and maybe it's way too big. I don't know how many apple trees would be on an acre, but okay, so that's working with a description of a rate, a verbal rate, and then also a numerical rate. So you'll finish out the last 2 on your own, coming up with numbers that would make a reasonable estimate for each of those. Good luck.